Hey guys, I'm Julie, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about some truly strange creatures. The kind that look like they came straight out of a fantasy movie or a sci-fi game. Honestly, if someone told me these things were real, I'd probably laugh and say, yeah right. But guess what? They are real. They live on this very planet, hiding in oceans, forests, and even trees. And once you see them, you'll never forget them. So let's get started and explore these real-life fictional-looking creatures. First up, meet the Draco Lizard. No, that's not the name of a dragon from a game. It's a real reptile. Found in the forests of Southeast Asia, these lizards have wings. Well, technically, they have elongated ribs with membranes that act like wings, allowing them to glide from tree to tree like little mythical beasts. They're small, usually just 8 inches long, but when they spread those wings, it's like watching a dragon take off. They use this skill not just for fun, but to escape predators and even chase after mates. They feed mostly on ants and termites and spend most of their lives climbing trees, rarely touching the ground. And no, they're not poisonous. Just ridiculously cool. Now let's move into No. 2. We're diving way deeper this time, to a creature that feels like it came straight out of a fantasy RPG. Meet the Scaly-foot Gastropod. Yeah, that's its actual name. Sounds like something from a dark fairy tale, right? This little deep-sea snail isn't just rare, it wears armor. Literal iron armor. Found over 2 miles beneath the ocean's surface, near hydrothermal vents in the Indian Ocean, this gastropod survives in conditions that would crush most life. The water down there is scorching hot, toxic, and full of heavy metals. But the scaly-foot? It's thriving. Its foot is covered in iron sulfide scales, the only known animal to have iron in its skeleton. Scientists literally call it the armored snail. It doesn't hunt or chase prey. Instead, it has a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that live in its body. They help process toxic chemicals from the vent, and in return, the snail gets nutrients. Talk about an unusual diet, right? Sadly, this tiny tank of the deep may not be around forever. Deep-sea mining poses a huge risk to its fragile habitat. Scientists only discovered it in 2001, and yet, it's already considered endangered. If someone told me there's a snail that wears metal armor, feeds off chemicals, and lives next to underwater volcanoes, I'd probably laugh. But here it is. Real, rare, and almost mythical. The Scaly-foot Gastropod, a deep-sea survivor that feels like it crawled out of a forgotten legend. If someone told me that there's a spider out there that dances better than most humans and wears a rainbow on its back, I'd call them a liar. But the Peacock Spider proves me wrong every time. Found mainly in Australia, these tiny spiders, barely the size of a grain of rice, are famous for their vibrant colors and crazy mating dance. The males raise their back flaps like a peacock, wave their legs in the air, and perform what looks like a TikTok dance challenge just to impress the females. What's wild is that the female can literally eat the male if she's not impressed. Talk about high-stakes dating. They're not venomous, harmless to humans, and super rare to spot in the wild unless you're really patient. They love dry, open habitats with leaf litter. What's more, scientists are still trying to figure out why their color patterns are so advanced. It's almost like nature got creative for fun and strange behavior. These guys have a weird obsession with clean dance floors. If the ground is too cluttered, the males skip the performance altogether. Next up, we have a creature that looks like it was ripped straight from a fantasy movie or a camouflage expert's dream. The leaf-tailed gecko from Madagascar. This gecko has a flattened tail that mimics a dead leaf, complete with veins, curves, and even bite marks. It doesn't just look like a leaf, it acts like one, staying completely still during the day and only moving at night. They're completely non-venomous and are actually super shy. If they feel threatened, they flatten their body and press against tree trunks so they literally vanish into the bark. Unfortunately, they're in danger. Deforestation in Madagascar is destroying their homes, and the exotic pet trade is making things worse. They're rarely seen and hard to find in the wild, unless you're a skilled herpetologist. Fun fact, these geckos sometimes freeze in fear when they see bright light. Some even believe they fear camera flashes because they associate it with predators. This one really lives up to its name. Meet the assassin bug, also known as the wheel bug, because of that bizarre gear-like structure on its back. It honestly looks like a steampunk machine built by a mad scientist. But don't be fooled. This creature is real, and it's deadly. Found across the Americas, mostly in gardens and forests, this bug preys on caterpillars, beetles, and even other bugs bigger than itself. How? It pierces their body with a long, sharp beak and injects an enzyme that liquefies their insides. Then it slurps it up. Yeah, nature doesn't always hold back. What's even crazier? They tend to avoid humans, but if they bite you, oh, it's painful. Some say it's worse than a wasp sting and leaves scars that last for weeks. They're not endangered, but they are solitary and elusive. You won't see them often, but if you ever do, you'll never forget them. Now this one might be the closest thing to a real-life mermaid's wardrobe. Say hello to the blanket octopus. Found in the open ocean, especially around Australia and the Philippines, this creature looks like it's wearing a flowing silk cape. But don't let the elegance fool you. It has a savage secret. You know the Portuguese man o' war, that deadly jellyfish with stinging tentacles? The female blanket octopus is immune to its venom, and sometimes rips off those tentacles to use them as weapons. Yeah, it's like carrying venom daggers. Even crazier? The female can grow up to 6 feet long, while the male is barely the size of a peanut. Talk about a size difference. They live deep in the open sea, and spotting one is super rare. In fact, most footage we have is from lucky divers or deep-sea exploration cameras. They're not considered endangered, but we barely understand them. And honestly, if someone told me this floating fashionista with weaponized jellyfish arms was real, I'd probably laugh. Until I saw it. Okay, butterflies are supposed to be colorful, right? Not this one. The glasswing butterfly looks like a spirit drifting through the forest. Its wings, almost completely transparent, like stained glass. When it flies, it becomes nearly invisible, disappearing into the air. They live mostly in Central America, especially in rainforests and cloud forests. And they're not poisonous, but they've got another weird trick. They feed on toxic plants and use the chemicals to make themselves taste terrible to predators. Oh, and get this, they're shy. Extremely shy. You'll rarely see one unless you're deep in the forest, staying very, very still. Some locals even believe they're good luck, or ghost messengers. They're not endangered. But deforestation is putting pressure on their habitat. So if you ever do spot one, consider yourself lucky, because this is one butterfly that feels like it came out of a dream. Animal 8, the hagmoth caterpillar, also known as the monkey slug. At first glance, it looks like a tangled wig or a clump of fur someone forgot to pick up. But this strange, hairy blob is alive, and it's a caterpillar. Yes, a real one. The hagmoth caterpillar is so alien in appearance that most people wouldn't even guess it's an insect. With its thick, brown hair-like projections and slug-like body, it earns its other name, the monkey slug. Found mostly in North and Central America, especially in wooded areas of the US, this caterpillar hides in plain sight. But don't be fooled by the cuteness. Those hairs can sting. They aren't deadly, but if you touch one, you might feel a painful burning sensation, almost like a bee sting. This is its main defense, and trust me, it works. What's even stranger? It mimics dead fuzzy leaves. That's right, it camouflages itself not just for hiding, but to avoid predators like birds. And while it's not endangered, it's pretty rare to spot one because it prefers shady, quiet places away from humans. Is it scared of us? Surprisingly, no, but it doesn't want to be near us either. It lives its slow life feeding on tree leaves, transforming eventually into a not-so-strange-looking moth. It's nature's prank. Just when you think it's a piece of forest debris, boom, it moves. Animal 9, the axolotl, also known as the walking fish or Mexican salamander. Now here's a creature so cute and bizarre, it feels like someone designed it in a video game. The axolotl looks like a smiling fish with legs, but it's actually a salamander that never grows up. Yeah, really. It stays in its larval stage for its entire life. Scientists call this neoteny, but I call it the Peter Pan of the animal kingdom. Axolotls live in Mexico, especially in the ancient canals of Xochimilco. But sadly, not many live in the wild anymore. Pollution and habitat destruction have left this adorable creature critically endangered in nature. Most of the ones you see today live in aquariums or research labs. But wait, it gets weirder. They can regrow their limbs, their tail, even parts of their heart and brain, like some superhero lizard. Scientists have been studying axolotls for decades to unlock the secrets of regeneration. They're not poisonous, super chill, and incredibly friendly. They'll even approach humans in tanks. But be careful what you feed them. They're carnivores and love worms, insects, and small fish. And here's the strangest part. They seem drawn to light colors, sometimes pressing up against white rocks or smooth objects as if mesmerized. So yeah, if someone showed me a photo of this pink, wide-eyed creature and said, "Hey Julie, this is real," I'd probably laugh. But then I'd meet an axolotl and fall in love instantly. 10. The giant weta, the heavyweight insect from New Zealand. Meet the giant weta. Basically, an insect so large it can outweigh a sparrow. Native only to New Zealand, this bug looks like it walked straight out of a prehistoric jungle. The giant weta can grow up to 10 centimeters long and weigh over 70 grams. That's heavier than a mouse. It belongs to a family of insects known as crickets. But trust me, your house cricket looks like a toy compared to this beast. These creatures prefer staying hidden in caves, tree trunks, and even underground. They're usually most active at night, which honestly just makes them more unsettling. Despite their size and armored look, they're completely herbivorous. No bloodthirsty action here. But here's the sad twist. Many species of weta are now endangered. You see, when humans arrived in New Zealand, we brought predators like rats and cats with us, and the weta just couldn't compete. Conservationists are working hard to protect them by relocating colonies to predator-free islands. And surprisingly, despite their terrifying look, these insects are super shy. They avoid humans at all costs. So the next time someone tells you bugs are all small and harmless, just show them this guy. And there you have it. 10 creatures that seriously blur the line between real life and science fiction. From see-through frogs to armored insects, nature keeps reminding us how little we actually know about the world we live in. If you enjoyed this wild journey, don't forget to like the video and share your favorite creature in the comments below. Which one shocked you the most? For me, that glass frog still has me questioning reality. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I'm Julie, and I'll see you next time for another dive into nature's unbelievable side. Bye for now.